Chapter 5: Complexity and Communication. In the animal kingdom, it has been possible to detect forms of communication. For instance, it has been noticed that bees move in a particular way to communicate with other bees to inform them where to get pollen. It has also been observed that dolphins' language has a high level of sophistication. Even though the ability to communicate as such is not just human, when deeply analyzed, we will find that communication among human beings show a particular complexity and characteristics. The subject and the object represent a dual relationship within the system and the environment where they exist. In this relationship, the particular behavior of the subject with itself and its environment is seen as a specific reference in its consciousness. Consequently, the subject self-organizes it when projecting to its environment, ecosystem, emerging in itself self-consciousness, self-organization. This ability will allow the subject to establish a tight connection between what it conceives as an interacting subject-object relationship. In the paradigm of complexity, the object represents a system connected with the totality, where it is a constructor as well as constructed, where system, organization, existence, and the being occur in a continuous interaction. From this point of view, the awareness of information of a system is the same as the awareness of its order. As a result, communication can be studied systematically because it is an organized object of study. Taking into account the choice, the distinction, and the relationship established among these, it can be explained as a consequence of belonging to the system. Complex thought must fulfill numerous conditions to be considered complex. It must link the object to the subject and its environment. It must not consider the object as one, but as a system, organization, that suggests the complex problems of it. Therefore, with this type of thought, perceptions are no more than structures of the processing system of the object. Simplicity versus complexity. The paradigm of complexity represents a great scientific contribution to human knowledge. It represents a new approach to learn about men and their environment from the perspective of self-reflection, reflecting upon what is known and, foremost, what they intend to learn. Edgar Morin, author of The Theory of the Complexity, encourages the necessity of promoting a conscious knowledge in men. The paradigm of complexity represents an epistemological revolution as it rethinks the fundamentals of classic science through the practice of a new rationality of knowledge. As established before, the subject and the object represent a dual relationship in the system and the environment where they inhabit. In this relationship, the particular action of the subject is taken as a specific reference to its consciousness, self-organizing it when the subject projects to its environment, emerging in itself self-consciousness, self-organization. This ability will allow to establish a tight connection between what is conceived as an interacting subject-object relationship. Hence, the bond between the subject and its environment, the subject, and where it resides, is not seen clear, closed, or precise, but also the subject should behave openly towards the interaction with the habitat. In this paradigm, there is a sequence of discoveries, coherent data among themselves, which indicates how attainable life is without taking into account how complicated it can be. In this subject-object relationship, a principle of totality is stated between the subject and its environment. It creates in itself a series of diverse situations which will allow the subject to be part of, and more importantly, granting self-organization qualities. The result, in an epistemology governed by the same dialogical connection that gives origin to complex knowledge and where uncertainty and determination coexist. We are stating a new paradigm in an innovative way to address knowledge, a method where the process of knowledge works under the requirement of a permanent disruption of what it is enclosed, under a principle of inexhaustible transcendence. A new revolution of consciousness and knowledge that raises unpredictably from one level of knowledge to another in an endless reflexive process.